to Kings of Influence, the only podcast where we talk about internet outrage and really anything else we want to talk about. I am half of your hosting team, Ray William Johnson.
I am the Epic Lloyd, half of your team, Epic Lloyd, and we are here every Wednesday at noon Pacific time,
right.
Streaming live on the YouTube channel, and Kings of Influence is back.
That's right. Ooh. I'm a little dead on this side. You see this lighting? It looks awful.
Ray's got the dead eye.
I know. We can't open that curtain of hair, can we, Zach? Real quick.
Probably good.
That side. Yeah.
You don't ever want to look dead on half of your face.
That's already better.
Already better.
Okay. So guys, we have as we adjust this lighting so I don't look like half a zombie.
You've been bit.
You
haven't fully turned.
Exactly. I'm like a weekend warrior kind of zombie.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. So guys, today we have a great show for you. We're going to talk about Sesame Street.
Oh,
for the first time, we're going to talk about whether or not Bert and Ernie are gay, because that came up in the news lately. We're going to talk about Stormy Daniels and her new book where she describes the President of the United States.
It gets stormy.
Junk. It does. It's going to be a stormy day. And we are going to settle this Machine Gun Kelly versus Eminem debate once and for all. We'll do that near the end of the show. Squashing the beef so much.
We're happy to be here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do, and hit that little bell, because that's like the notification that'll let you know that we've actually uploaded, if we actually have gone live. Because YouTube is such a vast ocean of content at this time, you have to hit that little bell, and we thank you to do it. Thanks for being here. We're growing the channel, you guys. We grew like 1,000 subscribers.
That's great. That's great.
That's the dopest of fresh. That's so nasty.
Super dope. Super fresh. Super dope fresh.
That was some suburb ass talking.
I know. Can you crack that? Can you get a little more sun in here too? I don't know why the lighting. I said the light went behind a cloud and shit like that. Anyway, okay. Let's talk real quick. What did you do this week? A little less. Sorry, can you split the difference? A little less, because now Lloyd is washed out. There, we're fine.
Ooh.
We're fine. That's
Great.
good. That's good.
What did I do?
I just gotta
this
look
week?
pretty for you guys.
You gotta do it.
Gotta look pretty.
What did I do this week? Today's Wednesday.
Correct.
I was away in Lake Tahoe last weekend and got back. But did we talk about that already?
I think so.
We did.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
This is what happens, you guys. Your life just, when you live in LA and there's no difference in the weather, your memory just gets smeared all together. I couldn't tell you what the fuck I did. I have no damn clue what I did.
Welcome to the podcast, Kings of Mundane.
I know.
Kings of Marriage.
I went out, hung out, had some drinks with some friends one day. Nothing extravagant. How about you?
I did, listen to this. So this was kind of the big thing I did this week, which it wasn't meant to be big, and then it turned out to be big. So you remember that when I was talking about I tried that CBD oil? Well, I picked the pen back up.
Picked up the pen. Because,
if you remember the first time, I tried the CBD oil a couple of times, and it just kind of made me feel stupid.
Yeah.
Just like 12% high, if that's even a thing, not even really high, but just you kind of get that brain fog, but none of the other stuff.
Cloudy.
Yeah, a little bit cloudy. So I decided to try it again. I adjusted the dose a little bit, tried a little bit more, and I did the thing, smoked or inhaled it or whatever, went out, and felt a noticeable difference. And I got it to work 3 different times.
In a good way?
In a really good way. In a way that I was like, oh, it's even hard to explain, because when you have an anxiety or an anxiety disorder or whatever that I tend to have, or that a lot of people tend to have, there are very few things that make you feel better outside of like substances. Like logic doesn't make you feel better by any means. You can't really talk yourself out of it. And I'm not the kind of guy who medicates like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I've never taken any kind of medication for it other than alcohol. Because that's the only thing I've noticed that works, and alcohol doesn't work consistently.
And this is for your anxiety.
Correct.
And
like sometimes it makes it worse.
Right. I imagine that for sure. And so the CBD, is it CBD oil? Is that how you say it? CBD?
CBD, yeah.
Did it work just like weed? Does weed affect you in a good way?
No, weed affects me in a bad way. So if I smoke, there's probably a reason why I only smoke when I do smoke. It's at night right before bed. It's because I can't function.
It puts you to sleep.
Yeah, it puts me to sleep. I can't function. And I mean, it's all of them affect me the same way. I just get paranoid and can't function.
And CBD oil,
other than like watch TV.
It made you feel clearer? It made you feel more calm?
It made me feel more calm. It didn't make me feel clearer. I still got the brain fog. I still felt stupid. I felt like dumb happy.
No, that's good.
Whereas so if I drink and it makes me feel better, or whatever, like if I'm about to go on stage and do some stand-up or something and I have a drink,
Gotta be wasted.
it'll wasted isn't good. Wasted isn't good, but if I have a buzz, it'll clear up a little bit of that anxiety.
Yeah.
Now, having a buzz every day in life it's just not the way to live life. That's how alcoholism starts.
It's debatable, but yeah.
But
continue.
when you drink, it's like the best way to explain it is when you drink, you like gain a feeling.
Yeah.
You're like, I felt one way and now I feel like I've had a substance
Enhanced.
In me. The way that this felt, it didn't feel like I gained something. It felt like I lost something.
Hey, all right.
Felt like I lost it felt like I lost another feeling, which I did. I lost the anxiety, and I wasn't like thinking about everything 900 miles an hour, which is probably
great.
why I feel stupid in that whole like brain fog
We
thing.
should try it on the podcast.
But so that's the thing. I don't think like my audience and you guys out
That's
there
you guys.
in listener land, you've never seen me high. I don't think I've ever even drank on camera. Maybe I've had like a drink, but you never seen me high. You never seen me buzz. I don't do that. I don't find it very productive.
Yeah.
To do that and then get on camera. So I can't imagine that I would like take a hit of CBD and get on. I would also.
I've been high on podcasts a couple times.
I'm sure.
And it's paranoid. I did.
Yeah.
I was on the Getting Doug with High podcast,
Right.
which is Doug Benson's podcast, and it was me and Doug Benson and adult film star Riley Reid. Now, if you want to get paranoid, smoke weed. If you want to get a little bit more paranoid, smoke weed with a comedian that you really admire and think is really funny. If you want to add another layer to that, then add a super sexual, uber hot porn star, and I was just completely overanalyzing everything I said in the entire podcast, which I think is kind of like the joy of that podcast. It was just a perfect storm of like paranoia and giggles and whatever. You would definitely not be the same person.
No, I wouldn't be sharp. I mean, even if I did the CBD, it's like I wouldn't want to come do this podcast with like brain fog, because this podcast is all about our opinion, and it requires us to be a little bit sharp. It requires us to know our facts and to keep up with each other.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could do that. I think I would be a little too relaxed.
Yeah.
Which is great in normal conversation and fun, but in a conversation where you're talking so that everyone can kind of watch, I don't think it would be that entertaining past like maybe 30 seconds. Ray seems kind of dumb.
And when you're dealing with a cerebral stallion like me,
exactly,
I'm tough to keep up
You're
with.
a powerhouse.
I'm a powerhouse.
You
bro.
are a powerhouse.
I'm the junkyard dog.
So anyway, my point is, I finally had a good experience with CBD. I'm gonna keep experimenting with it and see if it gets better. But I got it to work 3 different times.
Nice.
I went to 3rd Street, had a really good time, which is impossible for me. I never have a good time on 3rd Street.
Yeah.
It's like, it's shitty. It's
too
crowded.
much.
It's shopping. It's tourists.
Selfie stick after selfie stick after gap.
It's awful. And, you're getting stopped and asked for, and you're just like, I'm here to buy shoes. I don't want to take all that stuff. And, but I did the CBD, went out 3rd Street and had a really good time.
Yeah. Did you go to West Side Comedy? Westside
Comedy? No, I didn't, but I could have.
Yeah.
And then I tried it, and went and met up with some people. That was fun. And then another one, I went to the grocery store and had a fucking great time at the grocery store.
That is, we don't have to get into it, but that is one of I love doing mundane things high. Like I get high and go to the gym and I'm like all into it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I'm all into it.
I can't do that.
Today's podcast is brought to you by DARE, the DARE program. Kids don't do drugs.
Exactly.
No, what it is, we do have a link though. We have to tell them about our Amazon link.
Oh yeah, we do. Okay, so guys, if you want to support the podcast, we are an Amazon affiliate. You can use our link. Click through our link before you do any of your Amazon shopping. It's amazon.com/shop/kings. Amazon.com/shop/kings. It really helps us out. Again, click through, do the shopping. You don't have to buy our product. Do the shopping that you were going to do anyway.
Anything you'd
Amazon
normally
pays
buy.
us for the referral. That is amazon.com/shop/kings.
Let Amazon pay for this podcast.
That's
you
right.
don't have
That's
to.
right. That's right.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. We do have an interesting show today. A lot of cool topics. The internet was a fury. It was a buzzing fury this week.
That's right.
And the first one we wanted to talk about was the Bert and Ernie thing.
That's right. So here's the thing. A writer, this guy, Mark Saltzman, who wrote for Sesame Street between 1984 and 1998. He did an interview with Queer Tea, which is an online magazine. And he told them that when he was writing Bert and Ernie, he always wrote them as gay. He wrote their relationship as gay. He imagined them as gay because that was sort of the motivation that he had, and he modeled it after his own same-sex relationship.
Okay.
And of course, the internet went crazy for a lot of different reasons.
Stupid internet.
You're ruining people's childhood, Mr. Saltzman, for a lot of different reasons. A lot of people didn't like it. Obviously in the gay community, they have been claiming that they are misrepresented in media for years and years and years and years.
Do you mean Bert and Ernie are misrepresenting the gay community?
The gay community is underrepresented, in the media.
Oh.
And so to have Bert and Ernie represent them is like, great. They're like, look, we're in a kid show. We're
accepted.
We're accepted and all this stuff. So that prompted a couple of different responses. And that's always fun.
God.
Let's talk of that. Okay.
That's
so
awesome.
Anyway,
look at those cute little Bert and Ernie. They got vertical stripes. They got horizontal stripes. One's orange, one's yellow. They're multiracial. One guy's got one eyebrow. One guy's got no eyebrows.
I mean, it's diversity written all over it.
We could go on for days.
So Sesame Street replied, because they had to jump on it immediately. Sesame Street's very protective of their brand.
Jump on it.
Hey, gay jokes. So Sesame Street said, as we've always said, Bert and Ernie are best friends. They were created to teach preschoolers that people can be good friends with those who are very different from themselves. Even though they are identified as male characters and possess many human traits and characteristics, they remain puppets and do not have a sexual orientation.
I think that's the key point.
Yes.
They're fucking puppets.
Yeah.
They're puppets. You want to ask yourself, like, if they're having sex, like, ask yourself, how the hell does Bert live with his head squashed in? Like, if you want to explain shit, like, they're puppets, man. They don't fuck. They don't have that. They don't. Stop it. Stop it. They got a hand up their ass. They can't do anything. Like, I just hate that shit. Like, you don't have to explain. If the kids wouldn't be asking about it if you weren't making everybody have to talk about it and label it all the time. That's the only reason that kids even ask. Like, why do these two boys live together? Kids don't think about that. They're just buddies who live together.
That's true.
Some dumb dick needs it to explain to him, because you know what it is? It's if somebody out there would come out like this guy did and just be like, yeah, they are gay. That's now people can have a problem with it.
Right.
They want to be able to point to something that lets them have a problem with it. That says, that's not the right thing to teach children. You shouldn't be teaching them that it's okay for them to be gay. It's like, first of all, they're not even anything.
Right.
Because they don't fuck because they're puppets. And secondly, you were just waiting for that. You were just like waiting for it. Just wanting to hate on something. They're like jungle cat stalker haters. They just waiting to pounce. Drives me nuts.
Well, so yeah, a couple of things. First of all, when they were created in the 60s, they weren't created to be homosexual. So in order for them to be homosexual, Sesame Street would have to change their their lack of orientation into an orientation.
Right.
Into being homosexual. So in its purest form of whatever this argument is, they weren't created that way, therefore they just aren't that way. That doesn't mean they're straight.
Yeah.
It means they're nothing.
Yeah. You don't get to do it. You don't get to label it.
I think it would be cool if they were gay, but I understand Sesame Street's position on, like, listen, we don't give orientation to any character. In fact, they don't represent any kind of romantic relationship that I can think of.
Kermit and Miss Piggy.
They're not on Sesame Street.
Kermit's on Sesame Street.
Kermit is, but Miss Piggy's not. Their relationship's not on Sesame Street. And that's the Muppets. That's like a different
weird
demo.
Comic book. That's like a weird universe for Kermit. Kermit bends the universe.
Oh yeah, he's a crossover.
Is Kermit the only crossover one?
I don't know.
I think Kermit has the most powers out of all the Muppet universe.
Well, he represents the Jim Henson.
He is Jim Henson.
He's the logo. He's everything for that.
But yeah, I mean, that's the only romantic relationship I think that I can think of at all. And even in any Muppets, there's probably more that we don't.
There's Gonzo and that chicken.
Gonzo and the chickens.
Right. But they're not.
Is he fucking the chickens? What is he? Is
Muppets
he a hawk?
They're a different demographic. They were made for a different demographic. Sesame Street is for little kids.
Yeah.
The only relationships that Sesame Street that I've seen them represent, I believe, are marriage. Like, I believe that I've seen Sesame Street skits. Not that I frequent. It's a little lowbrow for me.
I like their old stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I like the. But I believe I've seen husband and wife kind of skits on Sesame Street.
I think they're like guest characters. Like I feel like I've seen same-sex couples that are like guest characters. Like, and but it's to teach that point.
Yeah.
It's to teach the point of gay or homosexual.
Wait, you've seen
I
same-sex
feel like I
couples
have.
on Sesame Street teaching? I don't think they have.
No?
I don't. You may have seen.
I'm putting words into a puppet's mouth.
You may have seen homosexuals on there, but I don't think they
I'm talking
addressed it.
two same-sex puppets that are like, we are gay, and this is what it is.
Not on Sesame Street.
No?
No, you're thinking of Avenue Q or something like that.
Okay, maybe.
You're no.
I get
There's
my
never
puppets
been
confused.
gay.
They all look the same to me.
No, I had to look this stuff up. There's never been like. Do you realize how? Do you remember how angry the religious right got over the fucking purple Teletubby? Imagine if Bert and Ernie or any Sesame Street character came out as gay. They would be.
You can't watch this on TV, and you shouldn't be teaching kids this on TV.
Yeah, and that I actually don't mind. I do think, if Sesame Street's a private company, they can make this decision if they want. And I just think they're not.
Actually, no, it's on PBS. That's public access.
They're still a private company. No, Jim Henson's Workshop's a private company. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but somebody on the chat said that the stream is unlisted, so people are having a hard time finding it.
Oh shit!
What the?
Yeah.
Great.
What the fuck?
Oops.
Thank you for telling us that.
Yep. Okay, now it's public.
Nice work, Zach. You guys, if you haven't known, we got Info Zach on the mic over here. In addition to our podcast, we are moving up in the world. Zach is not a face; he's only a voice.
That's right. Zach is the voice of God.
Yeah.
Anyway, I actually don't mind. I understand Sesame Street's decision to not deal with orientation really in any way.
Yeah.
I don't see them depicting a lot of romantic relationships on there, other than a husband and a wife, other than a marriage.
Yeah.
In general, and Bert and Ernie just aren't married.
No, they're roommates.
Yeah.
They're roommates.
They're
I
not
lived with a. I had many roommates. I shared a room in college. I shared a room after college with a guy. Like, it was completely normal. Like, why is that even a question? Because they're friends and they live in the same house, do they sleep in the same bedroom that people are going to start to assume?
I don't know.
I mean, just because they tongue kiss in the back alley doesn't mean anything.
I mean, one could deduce, that
he's whispering sweet nothings into his ear. Look, every man has the right to whisper sweet nothings into another man's ear. It doesn't mean anything.
All right, let me get to what else happened. So Frank Oz, the guy who created, he does the voice for
everybody,
Bert,
Fozzie, Miss
and
Piggy,
and Yoda, and I believe Kermit as well. But he created Bert, right? And so he jumped on Twitter. Now this guy, Frank Oz, 74 years old.
He's the shit.
Yeah, he's a really talented guy.
He looks like Fozzie.
So Frank Oz, he tweeted, he said, "It seems Mr. Mark Saltzman was asked if Bert and Ernie are gay. It's fine that he feels they are. They're not, of course. But why that question? Does it really matter? Why the need to define people as only gay? There's much more to a human being than just straightness or gayness." Now, he's right, but he's also, I would assume, a guy who's never had to, hide his sexual orientation or justify it to the world or anything like that.
Right.
So he is coming from that perspective. But he also created the character, and he does have a right to be like, yeah, I know that there was a staff writer who said he wrote them as gay, but that they're just not.
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets good.
Ooh, that was
so
pretty good.
he got attacked.
Oh God.
Because it's Twitter, and Twitter is garbage. So Frank Oz gets attacked. So I'm just going to read these in asshole Twittery voices. "You may have created him, but you don't seem to realize or appreciate what he meant to hundreds of thousands of little boys growing up. You digging in your heels and wrongly..." Sorry, it's too small. Wrongly conflating romantic orientation with sexual orientation. What seems like a disgust, objectively disappointing. And
These people can't read.
Yeah, no, the font is really small. Frank Oz says, "How odd you see my feelings as disgust." And then someone else jumps in. "If you aren't disgusted, why do you care so much about the... Come on, Frank, say it. Say, I hate the gays. It's right there, man. Come on, just say, you know
That's
you
what he
want
said?
to." I'm reading it word for word.
Wow.
And then Frank says, "What?" Question mark.
I love that. What?
And then that same person, "I don't think I stuttered, my man." So people are jumping all over this poor old guy's ass because
I gotta say it. That's Frank Oz's bad. He poked the lie. Like, what are you doing, man? You know not to do that.
Don't reply.
Don't get into it.
Well, I don't think it's his bad. Because he's 74 years old.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna. What is this tweet? I'm impressed he can tweet.
Yeah. That's like engaging with a telemarketer. Like,
oh God!
You just gotta hang up, man. You just gotta hang up.
Don't answer the door for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. Just
don't
hide.
But anyway, the internet was all freaked out about this for a lot of different reasons. I think it would be cool if a show like Sesame Street did have like, a two dads scenario or whatever, like we kind of lived in that side, I think that would be interesting and neat. I understand why they don't.
I totally understand why they don't. They don't at that age. Well, children don't need to be thinking about that one way or the other at that point because they're already in the right place. Children are already at that age. Children are already accepting of everything, and to start defining or bringing that as like even, hey, you have to like this because some people don't, that like introduces a positive thing to counteract a future negative thing, and maybe these kids are dealing with a little bit of like homophobia in their lives, if they're old enough, but it feels like it doesn't need to come from Sesame Street. It feels like that can be just purely down the middle and always the source of just unconditional love for everything.
Yeah, I agree. And Sesame Street is too busy being like, listen, we're trying to get this whole counting to 9 thing down.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to teach them the letter Q and how to use it.
Yeah.
Everything beyond that is a little advanced.
Yeah. Easy.
For our group, for these kids.
Easy.
So like maybe we leave romantic relationships kind of out of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Who's the complicated romantic situation puppet? What's that guy's name? Vinny the complicated romantic puppet.
Vinny.
Vinny. Listen, kid. Here's what happens when a man and a woman get together.
And then the man realizes he doesn't really, maybe that women aren't for him.
Yeah, he finds himself sneaking out of his happy marriage to the club down the block and ends up moonlighting. That's 1, 2, 3 secret relationships.
I was just gonna do that. 1 night stand.
Exactly. Foreplay.
4 play.
Sexual vampire.
Oh God,
He sucks.
So anyway, while I was digging around through this story, I found a little bit of artwork that I thought I would share. The internet likes to make artwork of these things.
Okay.
And I thought it was funny enough to like bring it up. Why the hell not? A little Bert and Ernie, Brokeback Mountain there.
I can't quit you.
Oh, gee, Bert.
I love the internet.
No,
sometimes.
it's really good. And then there was a fake cover of the not that. It was a fake cover of the New Yorker, which is
anal lube.
That's pretty graphic, but I got a nice laugh out of it. Not your favorite?
The last one was just so much more funny.
I think maybe the audience likes it. Okay. And then, of course, can you count this high?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, man, they're just trying to make the astrological sign for, what is it, Pisces? The 69 thing? Anyway.
Is that what? Okay. Okay, next story.
Oh, boy, that was fun. That was fun.
No, that was a good one. So we got Stormy Daniels, okay?
Okay.
Stormy Daniels, she's still in the news. She's still doing her thing. She's still doing her publicity strip club tour.
She's doing a strip club tour?
Yeah, she's making for a friend told me. She is making she's touring around. You know how we tour around and do comedy clubs? She does strip clubs and makes appearances.
Yeah. I think that's actually pretty popular.
I think so too for porn stars in general.
Yeah.
Again, allegedly.
Alleged.
That is
alleged.
What is alleged. No.
Those alleged charges.
No collusion. Yes. So she is hanging out with. I don't know anything about these strip. I don't frequent.
Right.
But she's hanging out doing these strip. Apparently, she's making a killing doing that.
I mean,
for these public appearances.
Why not?
But anyway, so she has decided to write a tell-all book, and it comes out, I guess, in October. And in this tell-all book, she really tells all. She talks about her childhood. She talks about, she was molested as a kid, which which is terrible, but very common in the industry. Yes. And of course, she talks about her her relationship with Donald Trump. I think that's kind of a big part of it.
Yeah.
And in that, she describes in detail all his junk. Yes,
his dick.
All of the things.
His cockapiece.
Yes, all of it. So let's look at it.
We're gonna look at his dick. I don't want to look at his dick.
Well, kind of.
I don't want to look at that little mushroom head.
So she describes it literally as looking like Toad from Mario Kart.
Why was I right?
I don't know. It's funny. So anyway, just for reference, that is Toad from Mario Kart.
His pants are up very high.
So are Trump's.
Yes.
I don't have a long tie. It's just my waist is really high up.
Small waist.
My wallet is kind of on my shoulder blade. So anyway, but let's read the excerpt because then I want to get it. Then I want to talk about it. So here's the excerpt from the book. She describes Trump's penis. She describes it as smaller than average, but not freakishly small. He knows he has an unusual penis. It has a huge mushroom head, like a toadstool. I lay there, annoyed that I was getting fucked by a guy with Yeti pubes.
Yeti pubes?
And a dick like the mushroom character in Mario Kart. It may have been the least impressive sex I've ever had, but clearly he didn't share that opinion. First of all, Yeti pubes.
What is a Yeti pube?
That's the name of my alt-rock band.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
now
claiming
coming
it.
to the stage.
Yeti.
Sacramento, please put your hands together.
For Yeti pubes.
For Yeti pubes.
We are going to open for Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Down at the Rhino.
What is a Yeti pube? Is it a like he has white pubes? Is it like gray pubes? Yeti pubes?
I didn't get a follow-up.
Or I know, but I'm fascinated now.
I'm kind of not.
You're here. We
Damn
have
it.
to do it. We have to keep
the hair on his head. Imagine that on his pubes. Maybe that.
Maybe it was like matted and just like
maybe
with
that
snarl and like pieces of dead rodent in there, like because
Yes.
you're eating and leaves. Maybe it's secret pubes.
Secret pubes.
Maybe it's imaginary pubes that only come out when you hunt for them.
They're these mythical pubes. Anyway,
No, because a Yeti is a snow thing, right? That's like the abominable snowman.
it's the snow Bigfoot.
Oh, so that must be a reference to the whiteness. He must have white pubes.
Maybe it's like the Looney Tunes Yeti. Oh, a little bunny rabbit.
Oh yeah. That's actually from Of Mice and Men. That's what that was.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
know.
but the Yeti reference is the when he gets Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have made that left turn in Albuquerque. Haven't you seen the Looney Tunes?
No, I'm with you. It's got to be because they're white. Okay, great.
Anyway,
we solved it.
I don't want to know. So if you guys remember, of course, she had this affair with Donald Trump back 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
He was married. He had a 4-month-old baby at home. And then he allegedly lied about the affair and then had to admit it. And there were these payoffs and all this shit and it was going down. But let's just talk about Stormy and her decision to write about him in this way in this book. And you know me, like I'm the kind of guy I never take up for. I don't think Trump's a good dude. His policy, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have presidents that have different policies. I just don't think he's a good person. I think he's a piece of shit on Twitter. I think he can't handle criticism. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's not a good leader. And you can disagree with me. That's completely fine. This is not a partisan attack. This is an attack on the guy. So I don't take up for him that often. But I will say this. This, to me, feels like body shaming. Which I don't think, it's 2018. I think we all agreed to not do that. And I think she's doing that. And B, it feels like a form of revenge porn, even though it's verbal and not visual. So imagine you hook up with a partner, you have an ex or something like that. And then you break up and then they go publicly and they're describing your junk, your vagina, your boobs, your penis, whatever it is, your butt, and they're describing it in all of this detail that may or may not even be true, and it's essentially shaming you. In fact, I would argue that if it were the other way around,
he would get in big trouble.
He would get in really big trouble.
Mostly because he's the president of the United States.
But sorry, we'll remove that from the equation.
Yeah.
But if it were a man describing a woman in a negative way,
her boobs were flat and pancakey, and they were the least
I think
impressive.
It was
the least impressive sex I've ever really had. I was fucking this girl and I hated it.
Now, Donald Trump, he's known to attack people, so maybe he deserves it, maybe he doesn't.
Right.
But I don't think it's a good look for her. I think she loses a little bit of credibility, and she looks a little bit petty. Kind of like when James Comey did. He was in the interview or whatever, and he starts saying all of these alleged factual things about Donald Trump and all that, and then he goes down and starts describing that Donald Trump's hands are really small.
That's weird.
And shit
Why
like
would
that.
You go there?
Well, right. It's meant to be like insulting. Even if it's true, it just seems petty.
Yeah, petty.
In this scenario,
I think your morals are only valuable when they're the toughest for you. You know what I mean? Like if you're like no body shaming, you got to live by that when it's most convenient and easy and feels the best for you to body shame somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like a perfect example. It's like, yeah, man. But I'm sure everybody's applauding it right now.
Well-
on both sides. But has anybody come out and said that, Ray, or are you the first? Are we hearing it from you first?
What, that it's body shaming?
Yeah.
I would like to believe that I'm the first. I haven't heard anyone say that it's body shaming and
Yeah.
whatever. Most people that I've read, like, you know, we talk about internet outrage.
Yeah.
And I would say that the internet, it was more of a gross out. It was more of like you ruined Mario Kart for me.
But it certainly is. I totally see what you're saying. Like, and I feel
It's
the same
kinda
way.
shitty,
It's
isn't
shitty, man. And I don't give a fuck about who Donald Trump slept with. Like, if you thought Donald Trump was a good family man ever, you are dumb. Like, how
That's true.
naive do you have to be?
That's
the
true.
man pays people to sleep with them. That's what people like that do. And fine, that's what they want to do. It's only a problem if you have a moral dilemma with it and then judge it. Like, people who tend to make a ton of money and are really good at making a ton of money and holding a ton of power typically aren't great family people. Because guess what? The family's not their number one priority.
That's true.
You know? Like, what the hell? So why is anybody surprised? Same thing with Clinton. Yeah, that intern was sucking his, you know, whatever. Yes, she was. Their marriage, probably not the most, like, normal marriage. They're power people. Like, that's what they're doing. Let them concentrate on the other thing. Like, honestly, I think if all of our presidents had, like, a weekly visit from the prostitute team, I think they'd do better in meetings.
Jesus.
Dude, bring in the prostitute team.
I mean, as long as
SEAL Team 6.
as long as everyone in the marriage is on board with it, I can't, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to criticize.
I
But who
think
knows?
They probably already are. But they just have to, like, all these, like, female politicians have to, like, play like they care. And probably they don't. Probably they know who they're not dumb. They know who their husbands are. They know the deal. You know, some of them, yes, some of them, no. But some of them, you know? So, yeah, it is kind of shitty that she did that. I'm with you, Ray.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm with you.
A little bit.
You get-
Even if he deserved it, like, don't do that to people. Be an adult.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's when you have to live by your own standards, is when you really want to and you can justify doing it. Like, yeah, he is a prick. Totally, he's a prick. But those are the people you can't do it to, because then it makes it feel like you can do it to anybody.
Yeah, of course.
And I would even go above. He's probably suing her, though, to be honest. He'll probably countersue. I mean, he sued Mac
for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah.
He might.
sues everybody.
Well, he did. Now he's president, so it's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah. You can't really sue somebody when you're the president.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
I don't know if he cares about
Not
that
really.
or whatever. But come on, Stormy, you can do better than that. Also, I loaded this sound in because I think it's funny. I imagine she pulled down his pants and saw his toadstool penis,
Oh no, what are we gonna see?
and then heard the death sound from Mario.
Just got sucked back into the pipe.
That's right. Just completely. Also, I wanted to do this because I thought it was funny. I thought, all right, so what if other politicians had cartoon character dicks as well? Because why not?
Okay.
Why not explore that? Like, I imagine George W. Bush's penis.
I would hope his is a bush.
Well, this is what I got. That's what I came up with.
Hey, it looks like, it kind of does look like George W. Bush when he does.
Right, okay. He's got a Woody.
He's got a Woody.
Literally a Woody. And then I thought, all right, what about Barack Obama? Maybe he would have
A Scooby snack?
Why not?
Hey.
Why not? Why not?
Roar, roar, roar.
And of course, Bernie Sanders, I kind of went there. Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo.
How
Where's
could you
everybody
not?
going?
How
Hey,
could you not?
hey, has anybody seen the way to the vagina?
The American people are sick and tired.
You be Bernie's voice, I'll be Mr. Magoo's voice.
Oh, God. The American people are sick and tired of these average penises who can see where they're going.
Everyone deserves free penis care.
Free penis care for all. Okay. Speaking of vaginas, you know, I went ahead just for equality. Hillary Clinton's vagina.
Uh-oh.
It's got to be.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. It's doing 20 things at the same time. It's multitasking.
There's a lot going on.
It's stealing your voice out of your throat.
It's really, really there. And of course, my penis.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah.
Hulk.
What are you going to do?
When it gets angry,
Okay.
look out.
Well, that leaves us just enough time to play a game.
Make it or break it.
Okay. Make it or break it. Guys, you know the game. Make it or break it.
I'm making notes.
Oh, no. Make it or break it is the game where I give you a hypothetical romantic scenario, and in said scenario, you have to decide whether you would make this relationship work or you would break it off.
Making it work or making it off?
Making it or breaking it.
Making it or break it.
Mr. Lloyd,
Yes.
You're in this relationship. You've been going 6 months.
We've been going hard.
6 months. It is looking great. This person is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you find out that she describes you in detail to her friends, and those friends have no problem describing you back to you when you are in conversation. And
like my junk?
yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
All of your two pump chump moments.
Wait, what?
All of it.
You must be confusing me with someone else.
This is hypothetical.
Okay.
She's describing all of it. Her friends and your partner has no intention
Of stopping.
of quitting. Yes.
So all her friends know all my dirty little secrets.
All of it.
I'm making it. I kind of like it.
Oh God, you sadistic bastard. Why is that?
I don't know. It just seems like a topic. At least it seems like good conversation. Like, how many times have you been over to your girl's friend's house? And like,
Yeah, that's right.
you're talking about dumbass shit. At least you're talking about getting busy. You know what I mean?
And her friends are like,
And
so
maybe
I heard
then-
you had a toadstool.
Then you
dick."
have an open share. Then you hear something else about someone. You learn something. You maybe become a better lover. And then, you break it off with that girl. The rest of the girls, they kind of know what your real estate is. So you move along.
That's not a bad outlook.
This is the mind of a pimp.
That's not a bad outlook. So you don't mind that her friends are making fun of your toadstool dick or whatever it is.
You didn't say it was only the negative. You said you said she's talking about it, and I assume now that it's good stories because that's all you're gonna get with me.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is?
I'm just saying that.
Let's assume
So
that
she's telling all the bad stories.
all of it.
Like-
No, dude. If she was singing your praises, it wouldn't even be a question.
Like bad stories, like it was so good I couldn't do anything the next day, like that bad story, or like it was so spectacular I don't ever think I could ever do it with anybody else ever again because it would just pale in comparison. That stuff.
yeah, not quite.
Oh, okay.
Not quite.
Okay.
She's comparing your dick to unflattering cartoon characters.
To snorks.
Exactly. They're telling you got a Smurfette dick.
Oh God.
That it's crooked on the end like the Smurf's white hat.
Well, yeah, I think I'm still gonna make it work.
Oh, God.
I love her, man. I love her, man.
What am I gonna do? I love her.
It's good.
She
It's too
she
good.
understands me.
She understands me. How about you?
We trash each other. No, I'm fucking breaking it off.
You're out.
Look, it comes down to this. If your partner is doing a thing like that, like with your private information, and you say, hey, partner, could you not do the thing that you're doing? And
Yeah.
they go, no, I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, then that's time for me to break it off.
Time to move
Like,
it
we
on.
can't have a real conversation about it.
Yeah.
If it's whatever it is, and I don't got anything, I really don't think anyone has anything to be ashamed about sort of in the,
Don't shame
in the
people.
bed.
Nope.
Definitely don't shame people publicly
Yeah.
like that.
Stormy.
But I feel like it's a trust thing, and it's a like, what other issues are going to come up in the future that you go, hey, it really bothers me that you tell strangers, people who are strangers to me, about these very private things, and then they come back and then start ragging on me
Yeah.
for it. Like, that's really shitty.
First of all, like, what kind of friends are these that she has that then like just come back and tell you about it?
The kind of friends that girlfriends always have.
They
Shitty
just
ones.
come-
Shitty, lonely ones.
Actually, my wife's friends are really awesome. I have to say that. What up,
This,
Ashley?
this podcast is sponsored by Lloyd. Sweat.
No, like I'm just wondering, like if it's your girl and she tells her friends about your style or your junk or whatever, then the friends, I think it's more messed up of the friends to just come right back and tell you that your girlfriend told them all these secrets. It's a house of lies.
Yeah, but that's why your partner should be more understanding.
Yeah.
That's why your partner should be like, oh yeah, these friends are shitty. Maybe I should,
But I'm lonely, Ray.
That's fair.
I'm lonely.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm in my house alone eating a cup of soup.
Okay, so you have one break it, one make it, one break it.
One make it, one break it.
I couldn't do that. But I'm the kind of guy, I break shit off real quick.
Yeah, you break
Yeah.
that shit
Oh
off.
yeah,
like
I
Kit
mean
Kat.
that's just my history where because I got that overthinking anxiety thing. If something bothers me and it's not resolved, it's gonna bother me for life.
Just another notch on Ray's belt.
It's just gonna keep swirling in my head. Man, she won't fucking shut up about the thing.
You got to get that CBD oil. Maybe it'll go away.
Maybe then I can make the
Oh
relationship
my
work.
gosh.
Okay, so
Well, what else? We had in the news today, battle rapping's back, y'all.
battle rapping is
I
back.
love how battle rapping is back.
This has been the big news.
Eminem swings back at Machine Gun Kelly in a full 4.5 minute long song entitled Kill Shot. What'd you think?
Oh God. Well, you're asking me who do I? You're asking me who do I think won,
We'll
or
get to
what do I
that.
think about the whole thing?
First of all, what do you think about the fact that battle rapping now is popular again, but in a different way? It is way more to me a contrived, not legitimate, purposeful money-making machine right now.
Yeah, it's a marketing.
It's a marketing thing. And we talked about this a little bit last week, but that being said, how does that make this battle and what he says different in its weight?
Different compared to what?
Biggie and Tupac, or LL and whoever he was or Nas and Jay, or any of the people who battled in the past versus now.
I definitely think if it's not more contrived now, it should be. Like, it should be tied in with an album release or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that would be the smart way to do it. I would say this, just in general, at face value. And mainly because Eminem is, 46 at this point. If these guys are self-aware, which I imagine they are, if these guys are like, yeah, we'll do a diss track and we'll get a little cred from it and it'll boost our profiles and all that. It'll be a good marketing tool. But then I'm like, all right, I can see that work, especially if they're somehow in cahoots, something like that somehow. If they're not, then what it really is a 46, it's two adults bickering. Yeah. Like, then to me, it's no better than like a YouTube diss track or whatever. It's just like bickering. Two grown men writing poems about each other.
I love when you call raps poems.
I know. You know,
mad poems.
And it's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, but I just hope that neither of them is really taking it that seriously.
Yeah.
Which Eminem might be. I don't know much about Machine Gun Kelly. I think he's fine. I will say this. I'm a fan of Eminem.
Yeah.
I think Machine Gun Kelly's fine. I haven't heard as much of his stuff, but I'm a fan of Eminem. Well, I have him covered in Eminem song. I listened to his stuff growing up and all that stuff. So I'm a fan, but I would say, like, man, I hope you're not really this upset because Eminem notoriously has thin skin. Yeah. Like it's funny that he doesn't like Trump because he is like Trump in that regard, in that he's always on guard. He's always got to punch back if someone says the slightest thing about them. He didn't need to like trash Machine Gun Kelly for something Machine Gun Kelly tweeted 6 years ago. Who the fuck cares?
I honestly think that Eminem is just like he's like a samurai with no leader. If he doesn't have a beef, his edge goes away. Yeah. Because you can't really, you can complain about how hard it is to be famous. You can complain about the fact that you're getting older or you're going through drug rehab or you're feeling isolated and stuff, but it doesn't have that same raw, visceral, not everybody can relate to that.
Right.
And that's the reason why rappers have a hard time with a long career, is because the struggle is a very interesting thing to hear in a rap song, and the first wave of success is a very heroic, celebratory thing. But once that goes away, it's very hard to relate to rap songs if you're talking about how badass you are, because it's like, yeah, it's easy to be badass when you're a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I think where Eminem is in his career, which I completely can understand, is if he can start a beef that he can sink his teeth into, and that's that's his strongest skill set. Yeah. Then why the hell not? His last album did suck. I'm sorry, man. I am a big Eminem fan. I think this battle rapping thing, this new album, I think is awesome. It's his best in a long time. And I do think in this song, I will say this. I don't think he won, but he didn't lose, which he had a really, really strong chance of doing, not because he's a worse rapper, because he had so much more to prove. Mm-hmm. He has so much more to prove than Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. All Machine Gun Kelly has to do is not fall off.
Right.
All he has to do is respond, and it's a win-win for him.
Yes.
If he loses the battle, he wins. If he wins. If Eminem is anything but pristine, he's fucked.
Right.
And and the other thing, and he delivered. I think he totally delivered in this rap.
Yeah.
Killshot is...
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's different. Good. The beat is cool. His flow is nasty. He says some shit where you're like, oh, you know what I mean? I think he's got another gear, too. I think you'll hear responses back.
I know he has another gear. Do you remember when he did the Mariah Carey diss? When he trashed Mariah Carey like 5 years ago?
Okay, maybe, yeah.
That's like his best diss rap ever, and it was so passionate. He was so mad at it.
Yeah.
That's his final form.
Yeah.
That's his Super Saiyan or whatever.
Super Saiyan, dude.
That's his thing. So I know he has another gear.
Mm-hmm.
He can. I bet Machine Gun Kelly does too.
I think Machine Gun Kelly has to come back.
Oh,
I think
he
he
will.
has to come back.
So I think you're right. Machine Gun Kelly can only win from the like. If you take away the quality of their songs, like if we're just disregarding that for a minute, and you look at who has what to gain, what can they win, all that, Machine Gun Kelly can only gain from this.
Yeah.
Eminem can only lose or stay neutral because he's not going to gain anything.
Well,
no one's going to be like, I didn't know Eminem could diss people.
But I think he can regain some of the spotlight.
Sure.
It's like you're only as good as your last thing. And I think it's like when Liam Neeson came out with Taken. You're like, who the fuck, where's this guy been? Only like, Taken? Yeah, I love this guy again.
Right.
So I do think that Eminem has that to gain. Where almost like a re-energizing of his career.
Well, compare that to what Kelly has to gain.
Yeah, I mean, not even comparison. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly can only win. All he has to do is like, he could have done a mediocre job and he would still really, really benefit from this.
Yeah.
By the way,
the only thing, I'm sorry to interrupt, the only thing he couldn't have done, if he had done a rap that was so bad Eminem didn't have to respond, that would have been his loss.
Yeah.
That would have been how he lost.
Well, Eminem, yes.
And he's not that dumb.
Eminem won by him responding. I'm sorry. Machine Gun Kelly won in a way.
Yeah.
Like he gained so much by Eminem responding and acknowledging him.
Yeah.
And everything. And I'm sure he's like happy as hell. So two quick things. One, Zach, can you look up how many units of Kamikaze were sold versus how many units of Eminem's album before that? Because I have a theory on that.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to. I have a theory on that. In that, my theory is when fans complain that it's like when a movie, when fans complain about like Spider-Man 3 or whatever. Oh, it's the worst Spider-Man, worst Spider-Man movie ever. All that, but it outsold the previous two movies or whatever.
Right.
That shit happens all the time, and I'm just curious if the album that everyone shits on with Eminem actually outsold Kamikaze.
Well, it might because it's been out a year longer.
Sure, but
you're talking about first weekend.
We can gauge. Yeah, we can have a gauge.
I think not.
Other thing, maybe it didn't. I'm just curious. The other thing is I'm curious what the audience out there, you guys out in Streamland, who you think won and why. Let us know in the stream, and we can read off your comment. So
Machine Gun Kelly.
Now let's talk about the song. Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly or Eminem. Now let's talk about the songs itself. So Eminem, So just like the 2016 election was Hillary Clinton's to lose, this is Eminem's to lose.
Yes.
And he definitely, I don't think he did.
No.
In that regard. Not that this matters in a battle rap. Machine Gun Kelly had a catchier song. Like it had a hook. Machine Gun Kelly wrote a song.
Yes.
Let's
talk about it.
Less than a diss track, which I think is cool. That's one way to do it.
Yep.
He used auto-tune. A lot of people fault him for that. I don't, because that's his generation's way of fucking doing it. That's the sound, and that's what he's doing. Called him Oscar the Grouch on the couch. I think you pointed that out last week.
So, did you do a pro and con list?
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I wrote
called
some
him
stuff
Oscar the
down.
Grouch on the couch.
That shit was funny.
Said your beard's weird, just right out the gate.
Love
it's so true, dude. What
His
the
beard
fuck
is a
with
little
the beard?
weird.
I
It's a little
think
weird.
Eminem should just ZZ top that shit.
I agree.
That just all the way down.
Just like a gruffy.
Yeah.
Just like a really manly, just
scraggly
a lumberjack of a man. I think
Tom
that'd be great.
Hanks, second half of Castaway.
I think it would be great. He complimented him.
Have to.
I mean, that to me was weird. Like you really are. What are you doing? Like you trash the guy. Don't compliment him. That's weird.
No, but I disagree because I think it is inevitable. You have to identify your enemy as what it truly is. Know thy enemy. And he is undisputedly the greatest of all time in everybody's eyes right now. At least top 3 in almost everyone's eyes. And if you don't say that, especially as a skinny, white, single dad rapper from the Midwest, you have to acknowledge that he's influential and clutch in your career, or else you'll be disregarded. That's what I think.
I wouldn't have done it that way.
Oh, when I battle Eminem.
My diss track's coming soon. I wouldn't have done it that way. Okay, so now in regards to Eminem's track, Kill Shot, so Eminem has the advantage, not just because he's been around longer, he's been through this, but even in a debate, the person who goes second has the advantage because then they can respond to your points and then make their own points. Yep. And technically Eminem went third if you count the first one, but Eminem is the last to go so far. So I expect when Kelly comes back, his track will be better than his first and at least be an attempt to be better than Eminem's track.
Well, it's interesting
as well.
because all the points that you would think of are on the table now. Like if you were to say what are these guys' top 5 beefs that they can say, they've laid them all out plus more in both of these raps.
Yeah.
So now when they go up again, they're going to have to dive deeper into something. You can't just make the same points harder.
Right.
You have to go deeper and say either something more shocking or something more degrading or something. And I don't know anything. I feel like these guys, both superstars, have inside knowledge of one another and that lifestyle that I would never have. Like Machine Gun Kelly said something about how Eminem wouldn't let Sway in the Morning play Machine Gun Kelly's song or take him out of the cipher. Probably it was because Eminem like, this guy's fucking biting my style. Get him off my radio station. You know what I mean? But that kind of inside baseball, that's what I'm hoping they talk about. Like deal stuff, weird stuff that like they live and have, and inside business shit that you'd never know.
I heard you don't recycle.
Yeah, right, right. You have a mushroom dick.
Like dad shit.
Yeah.
You got a toadstool penis.
I do hope that they don't, like, you know, talking about somebody's daughter or talking about somebody's kid or talking about somebody's mom or parents and shit like that. Like, that starts to get below the belt, in my opinion. Like,
let me tell you how I would do it, because I thought about this the other night. So if I were in Machine Gun Kelly's place, this is how I would do it. I would write a rap about Eminem, but I would address it in kind of like Dear Stan, like kind of that thing. I would address it to Haley.
Oh, wow.
Dear Haley, your dad is this, he's this, he's this, he's this. Don't trash Haley, but just be like, hey, I'm kind of worried about you because your dad has all of these faults and problems or whatever those be.
Wow.
Not just because that would be, but you keep it above the belt.
That would be intelligent and an interesting
right.
thing to watch.
It would be a really interesting perspective, and that would get under, that would get under Eminem's skin.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if that is your goal, to get under his skin, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's like,
well, they said all that Stan stuff, and I don't know what that. I think they're just referring to the song Stan. I'm sure that's not his biggest hit. I think maybe that's what put him on the map.
Who said Stan stuff?
Eminem said stuff about how he keeps referring to himself as Stan.
I think he's referring to, Kelly as Stan.
Oh, is that his actual name? Machine Gun Kelly's name is Stan?
No. Just that Kelly is like
a Stan.
Like he's a fan. He's like,
got it.
You know, all of you are my sons. Whenever rappers say that, people who were influenced by them.
That's an interesting thing.
I think that's the way I would do it. I would write a Dear Haley, and it wouldn't trash her or anything. It would trash him, and it would be like, I'm worried about you because your dad is this, and you could bring up all kinds. You could say all the same things that you said before, but in a different way, and how they could potentially affect Haley. I think that's the way to go. It's a smart way to go.
I would infiltrate Eminem's posse and pay all of his best friends who he thinks he has the trust and love of, and get them to diss Eminem behind his back.
And then call it out in your rap?
No, do it in the video. Be like, and blah, 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 blah. By the way, Royce to 5'9" says this, and it's Royce to 5'9". Like, not you, Royster. Not you.
Just pull like
everybody comes out.
Everlast
Then Dre just comes out and be like, I never really liked you. You know what I mean? Just get everybody. All your best friends. Leave a horse head in his bed.
Wow. Get Mariah Carey to sing the hook.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That would be great.
That's not bad.
But that is the other thing, though. Like, that's the thing that they have that they didn't used to have as much, is you have a video aspect now.
Yeah.
Which actually is why I think that Eminem's is a little bit more impressive, because he didn't make a video for Kill Shot. I don't think it's just a graphic.
Yeah, guy, he don't have time for that.
I know, but I think that the Machine Gun Kelly track without the video is a little less intriguing. I thought I enjoyed the video.
Come on, man, he's eating cereal in it. What do you?
I know, but like for a lot of people, you got to realize this is their first introduction to Machine Gun Kelly. You know, for a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's an impressive looking human. You know, he's got the whole
tatted
tattoo
up.
thing.
Yeah, he's got a look. He's got a good look.
You know, and he's tall and just a striking person. And so I think it does add something to it. If he wasn't a charismatic actor and you just heard the track, like the Donald Glover track, America, or I think
This is America.
This is America. Love the song, but for me, it's all about that video. That video is the impressive thing for me. And so I think that is actually a check in the mark of Eminem's side, being like, damn, there's a pretty strong song with no video. Although Eminem has been making some weird videos. He made a video from the Kamikaze out, and it's kind of weird. Like all those weird faces or whatever.
Yeah, with the Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, his acting is just not good.
I only saw pieces of it and mostly just listened to this. Sometimes, like, you put on a music video and you don't really watch it. You're just listening to the song. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was what I did.
Anyway. So
Yes.
anyway,
We got some facts. And
yeah, let's get some facts. Let's get
What do we got?
What do you guys
What do we
think?
got?
What do you guys
So
think?
for Revival, which was the one before Kamikaze, there was 267,000 units sold. Kamikaze was 360,000 units sold.
In the first day?
There's like first day, week, I guess. These are mostly just estimates.
Okay,
but,
so Kamikaze did outperform
I feel like
Revival.
it,
Okay.
Yeah.
Way more.
Okay.
And then for comments, of interesting, you brought up the music videos because somebody did make a comment about the music videos. Sorry, pull it up real quick. There it is. B and Jessica Lynn said Eminem because if he did a video, it would blow MGK out of the water.
Right. So no video versus a song and a video.
Yeah.
Well, who is that? Brianna?
Jessica Lynn.
Jessica Lynn.
Well, video is the new audio, man. You got to
is.
do a video.
And I love when Eminem was like, "Are you eating Cheerios or oatmeal? What the fuck are you eating, dude?"
Oh,
That was
great.
really funny.
It was a weird thing where he's eating like a bowl of cereal.
Because I definitely noticed it watching the Machine Gun Kelly video at first.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of so nonchalant. It's like sort of very flippant that he's doing this. And it's like, I think it was representative of the points he was making of like, I'm the young kid who eats cereal and you're probably like no bread diet because you're 46 and don't want to get doughy. You know what I mean? But then it was like, what the fuck are you eating, you dork?
That's pretty funny. No, I think Eminem did have some of the better line. But look, it's all subjective. Whether if you listen to both songs, it's pretty subjective. If you're like, well, he made better points, he made better points. It's probably more of a matter of opinion. I think Eminem had some of the better lines, but I think Kelly did a really good job. Like he took a huge risk.
Yeah.
And it paid off. I did hear that he was opening for Fall Out Boy yesterday.
Yeah.
And got booed off stage or something like that. But then I heard there was a video of it, but then that video had been edited. I don't know what's true.
I wonder what the fallout is. Literally
Hey!
fallout. Because you got to imagine some people are going to be team Machine Gun Kelly, but there's like
A lot of people are.
Eminem said, I've got more fans than you in your own hometown.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's so true. It's so true.
Well, Machine Gun Kelly is a bit more underground. Eminem's been around a lot longer. He's had hits. He had Dre backing him.
Yeah.
And
it's like,
Machine Gun had Diddy backing him, but Diddy's not Dre. I think Dre carries a lot more weight.
Yeah, I have to. Certainly musically.
Also, when Eminem came out, there was nothing like Eminem. When Machine Gun Kelly came out, Eminem and his clones had already existed. It just wasn't as exciting.
Yeah.
But I think he did a great job. He did a stand-up job.
Yeah.
If that were my boy, I'd be like, dude, you did really well.
Yeah. I think that you're going to see MGK come back with a video. If he doesn't do a video, either that or he'll do it without a video on purpose just to prove that he can. I think that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
So
I think, Machine Gun should milk this for everything that he can because this is going to be great for him. He might be getting booed off stage now, but that won't last.
Yeah. What else? Do we have any other comments?
He'll get back on his feet.
Who else
Pretty
we
much
got?
everybody was in agreement. It's Eminem.
Eminem's hands down across the board.
Of course, I've been trolling on my Facebook page, like being like Eminem lost, changed my mind, and like posting memes and shit.
Oh yeah,
just to fuck
that
with
Crowder
people.
shit
and that Crowder stuff, and people go. I gotta say this: I'm an Eminem fan, and you are too. Eminem fans are stupid. Not because they're Eminem fans, and not because you and I are stupid or anything, but because when I post something like Eminem lost, changed my mind, or whatever, just the vitriol and the hate and the personal messages and the personal attacks from just saying Eminem lost, which is a reasonable thing for anyone to think. I don't necessarily think he did, but it's a reasonable thing for someone to think that or make that argument, and for people to come back and be like, fuck you, I'm unfollowing, like, and to curse out, your mother and your entire existence, and
dumb dicks.
they're just idiots. Come on, man, just play the game, just argue a little and then move on.
Make a point. Imagine that. Imagine that was on the debate team. You know what I mean? Like that was your response. You suck. And Exeter High School, what's your response? You suck too.
It's the it's the idiocracy presidential debate.
Yeah.
One guy says all of these intelligent things. The other guy goes, "Yeah, fuck that homo." And then the whole crowd cheers.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at him. Fuck him.
Look at the common denominator.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's Eminem across the board.
Everyone of course, everyone loves Eminem. He's great.
Pretty much. We got one guy. I'm Eve real. MGK is sick. Good stuff.
That's pretty
good one. How long?
Pretty intelligent.
Yeah.
He's been working on that one.
Thanks for watching.
He thought of that one at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And that. Okay.
Well,
I think it's time.
It is time.
It's time to crown a king.
Crowning the king.
All right. Who do we got? So this week, We've got we've got Sesame Street, Bert and Ernie, and Mark Salzman, the writer. We've got Stormy Daniels, and of course Donald Trump on the other end, and we've got Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem. And Toadstool, if you want.
And Toadstool. Who am I giving it to?
Who is the king?
Who's the king?
Who's the king of influence this week?
I'm going to give the king to M. Got to give it to M.
Why is
Such
that?
an easy, because he had the most at stake, and he followed through. I think he had the most at stake, and everybody's eyes were on him, and he delivered. And it was the buzz. It was the talk of the week. Everybody was talking about it, and it's a redemption story, and everybody loves a redemption story.
That's cool. I will say, at 46 years old, I'm sure doing what he's doing is a lot harder. Not that he's not a more skilled rapper, but, you know, when Jay-Z or some of these guys, when they're getting older in their mid-40s and their 50s, and it's like harder for them to create that buzz and keep that flow, especially in music when your fan bases are really young.
Yeah. Tough to do, not easy to do.
And he's doing it. He's pulling it off.
You know, most of those rappers from that generation are in CSI or some shit.
So that's pretty good. I'd give it to Machine Gun Kelly. I think he gained so much from this. He had the biggest career boost ever. He might be able to tour for the rest of his life off of this notoriety right now.
Just one song about a guy that's not you.
Well, just basically this one moment where everyone has heard his name. My mom's probably heard his name at this point.
Yeah.
I'm into that Squirt Gun Thompson. Yeah. What is his name?
I don't know. But I didn't realize. Why do people call it MGK? It sounds so much like CPK to me. I'm always thinking like California Pizza Kitchen.
Well, there used to be a rapper named MJG. And that's why I don't call him MGK. That? It's from the old school. Oh. And I
Machine Gun Kelly, MGK.
Right. MGK.
All right. I don't know.
That's
MGM.
What I'm, because I think he gained a lot for his career. All right. What about the Jester?
The
Who
Jester,
do you think lost?
The Jester. It'd be easy to give it to Stormy Daniels because I think it's shitty, but I'm gonna have to give it to Frank Oz for being dumb enough to respond to Twitter.
Don't feed the trolls,
Don't
Frank.
feed the troll.
I give it to Stormy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. Stormy, you had a lot of credibility, you know, telling these stories and saying, you know, Donald Trump screwed you over and all this stuff and he's a bad guy. But then you kind of undermine it when you go out there and body shame him. I think that's shitty.
Yeah. Especially from someone who is in the industry of making money from their body.
Yep. I totally agree.
All right.
I think that's it. I think that's the episode. Guys, if you're in the chat, hang out and we'll chat with you a little bit.
Yeah. But if not, tune in next week, you guys. You can find our podcast everywhere that podcasts are, like iTunes or Spotify or
YouTube.
Yeah.
Your Mama's House.
Your Mama's House. Check us out every Wednesday at noon.
We're live every Wednesday at noon.
Yeah. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and be safe.
Be safe.
Yeah, I feel like a dad.
Don't do drugs. Say your prayers.
Don't do drugs. Yeah, try that CBD oil or whatever.
Eat your vitamins.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Epic Lloyd.
And I'm Ray William Johnson.
We'll see you next week.
Hey.
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 Hey. Hey.